So first of all, let's talk about why having a holiday marketing strategy is important. It's different from a typical marketing strategy. You have to put a lot more into it. Like we said, it is a beast to tackle. And so there's a few reasons why, and a lot of them are financially driven, of course. So Cyber Week alone generates between 6 and 9% of annual revenue for most brands. So that's a good chunk of change for just the holiday season. And that's a chunk of change you don't want to miss out on. So that's really a crucial element to think about. You want to be strategically planning and thinking ahead, which we'll dive into. In 2020, 53% of shoppers stated that most promotions significantly influence their purchase decisions. So different marketing avenues, over half of shoppers were influenced by. So marketing has a great influence on people's behavior, their shopping patterns, and their purchase patterns or influence to purchase. So it's really
I just
crucial.
want to jump in there. I mean,
Yeah.
shoppers are waiting all year for this time. And also they look at the funnel uh, and building your funnel early and the top of funnel and new people helps that so they convert at that time of year.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great note. And we actually do, we'll dive into the breakdown of the funnel, but that is a great note that it's a year round. So we'll dive into that too, but it is a year round effort. And so waiting kind of just until the holiday season to begin that marketing, you're a little late, which we'll dive into too, but don't let that stress you out. Um, we're here to help you. So, and then holiday retail sales. Oh, by the way, everyone, that was NJ. She's one of our amazing co-founders here at Forward Female. So she's here for any questions as well. But holiday retail sales are likely to increase this year between 3.5 and 4.6%. So that's a big gap that you would be missing out on if you are not really diving into your marketing strategy and giving it all that you've got. So it's really crucial that we have a separate strategy for holiday marketing for these reasons. So like we said, if you're not early, you are late. So if you haven't started planning already, now is the time to jump on it as soon as possible. Kelsey, it was great that you started in September, but even considering it earlier in the year, like Andrea had mentioned, data from Google shows that holiday-related search queries start as early as September, so people are already in that mode before Q4 even starts. So really thinking that through and having a game plan. So if you don't have that game plan, that's okay. We'll work on it today. And then a significant uptick in November. So really, this upcoming month is going to be a big one if you haven't started planning. A big portion of beginning is looking at your financial goals for the year and knowing what goals and KPIs you need to set for this final quarter and for the holiday marketing push specifically. Know what you're going after, know why you're going after it, and what steps need to happen. And it all starts with the goals, and then working backwards from those goals as to how you're going to achieve them. Okay. Something that is really crucial, and I'll never ever not say it, you'll hear us say this with everything that we do, is knowing your target audience through and through, like the back of your hand, really having a clear understanding of who they are, what they need, why they need it, what else is out there within your competitors that they might like, what their purchase behaviors are, and that kind of thing. You need to be really clear on this, because in order to market successfully, you have to know who you're marketing to and really why the heck do they care. That's really a crucial point. Why are they going to care about what you're doing, and why is what you're doing any different from what they've already seen out there? So you need to uniquely solve the problem that they have. You need to know what that problem is to begin with. And it'll really impact your messaging and the copy and the words that you use, because those words should resonate and connect with your target audience. And if you don't know them, you're not going to be using the right verbiage. You're not going to have copy that connects. And it's really crucial too, because 91% of customers are more likely to shop with brands that provide relevant recommendations and offers. So whether that's your trust that you've built with your own audience, or working and collaborating with brands that your audience trusts. You have to know these things, so then you can put yourself in front of your audience and build that trust, and also build your repertoire with them to make them returning customers. So know your target audience through and through. Cannot stress it enough. So this is the funnel that NJ had mentioned. So understand your funnel, what the top of the funnel looks like, what it looks like all the way through, making sure that there's no element of your funnel that is broken or that is lacking in any way. So your marketing funnel, it's your audience's path to purchase. So what does that look like in terms of your marketing efforts specifically? So a little different from your sales funnel.
Okay, can I just jump in here?
Yeah.
I want everybody to know, top of funnel is getting new customers and consumers. And bottom of funnel, for everybody, if you don't know this, and probably everybody does, is that those are the people you want to retain. So when people talk top funnel, bottom funnel, they're using two different marketing elements to reach
Mhm.
the top of funnel. Helps feed your organic growth and hopefully build your business long term. Once you've paid all that money or done all that hard work, you want bottom of funnel is retention, so that you can keep those consumers, that you have a long lifetime value. And it really makes all the difference, because your returning customer rate is critical. So the two work together, but they're very different.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great point. And you can kind of think of it as you're creating this different marketing content. You can split it into two: your awareness content and your nurture content. So your awareness content, like NJ said, is building out these new customers, these new purchasers, basically. And so you really need to be catering to them when you're thinking about this awareness content. Then your nurture content is, how are you going to keep your customers, keep the people who are already interested in your brand, already loving your brand, coming back time and time again. Because when you do have those loyal fans, those loyal customers, they restart this funnel for you. So they'll go and talk about it to their friends. They'll post about it. They'll be wearing it out, and people are asking, "Oh, what are you wearing? I love your top. Oh, that candle smells amazing," whatever it is. Then they're starting that funnel over for you, and you're spending less money to acquire that new customer. So it's really crucial. Also, returning customers make up about 2/3 of revenue for most brands as well. So your returning customers are really, really the ones that you want to impress. So making sure this funnel works at each step. So if you have great social media posts, great awareness content, but then your website kind of stinks, or it's difficult to navigate, or it's not really clear, this is where somebody might exit your funnel. Then if maybe you have a great website and people are looking, maybe they have some things in their cart, but you don't have any abandoned cart emails, or you don't have anything to follow up with them, then you lose them here. So you want to make sure every element of this funnel is working properly. It's a funnel. It's got to flow through all the way to get to this retention where they're happy, healthy customers who are going to start this over for you. So just a quick breakdown of the funnel.
Also, I just want to add, when
Yeah.
you're doing the abandoned cart emails and all of that, those are called journeys. And
Mhm.
what's really critical is if you have time or an offer in the abandoned cart, and that it expires, because that helps conversion. So those are one of the great incentives to use in your email journeys. I don't know if people are on Klaviyo, Attentive, whatever. Those are really, really critical journeys to break down. Same thing in SMS. Add those offers, and it will increase the retention
Mhm.
and conversion.
Mhm.
And just so everyone knows, I'm also the managing partner of APL, and I run all of our e-commerce. So I'm just passing on lessons learned.
Love it. I love it. Awesome.
Quick question. Sorry. NJ, could you repeat the first part of what you were saying? the timer on the cart. Can you repeat that bit a bit again, please?
The timer on the card,
About the abandoned cart. Can you
oh
go
yeah.
into that
Oh,
just a little
okay.
bit?
Yeah, so typically we and I recommend this for all brands. I mean, you should be sending abandoned cart messages out, you know, typically 20 or 30 minutes after a cart has been abandoned, and you go back and you have a reminder or something on that, but you should actually probably have a 7-day cycle. So you 20 to 30 minutes, send out a message, you know, something very sweet, short and cute. It depends in the voice of your brand. And then you might wait a few hours or a day and send an offer like $20 off. It depends what you can afford and what your business can afford. And you bounce it back so that they convert. And then if they still don't, you might have a general reminder because you want to have an expiration on that offer so that they know the clock is ticking. But you also don't want to over communicate so that they unsubscribe. So that's the magic of the conversion retention journey. So I always am more on the sparse side and have found that to work better. Some brands are different, and I think you have to test that for your brand, but I would start more conservative because you don't want to have lots of unsubscribes when you're sending too much messaging.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Great. And if you have questions too, feel free to drop in the chat. Feel free to hold on to them. Feel free to raise your hand, dive in. I love it. And it's really all a big discussion. So yeah, please, any questions that anyone has, throw them our way. Awesome. So thinking of all of this, thinking of your funnel, thinking of all of your marketing efforts, how are you going to stand out? Everyone is marketing during the holidays. So can this look like? How can you differentiate yourself among your competitors? So number one is creating unique offers, and these unique offers have to pique the interest of your audience. Hence, knowing your audience very, very clearly, what's going to actually pique their interest, and what are their needs, what are they thinking about this time of year, what's going to resonate with them. 10% off might not resonate with them. That might not be the thing, and it might not even be a percentage off. So creating unique offers and really thinking outside of the box and thinking of what your audience actually needs and would respond to this time of year. That goes to your approach. Doing the same thing that you're already doing might not be the way to go. Like I said, it is a beast, holiday marketing, and everyone is marketing their businesses right now. So think of different ways, different elements of marketing that you can step into, like different marketing channels, running ads, gift guides, email campaigns, collaborations, having press written about your brand as well. Anything like that. Can be really impactful and get you in front of the audience that you need to be in front of to make those sales. And then the other aspect is rewarding your loyal customers. So like I said, those loyal customers restart this funnel for you time and time again. And that saves you money at the end of the day. It costs more to acquire a new customer than to keep a returning customer. So reward, wow, I cannot say that word, reward your loyal customers. 81% of consumers shopped for specific brands during the 2021 holiday season because they belong to a loyalty program. So keeping them involved, giving them points or different things like that, something to consider throughout the year. Like NJ said, that was a long game that a lot of brands play, is these loyalty programs, but also giving them unique rewards for being loyal customers, for being return purchasers and things like that, because then you'll encourage not only for them to purchase again, but for them to, oh, I got this great deal with so-and-so or at this brand because I've been a customer for X amount of years or whatever the case may be. So
So you can
reward your
sign up
supporters.
for like loyalty programs with like Yotpo. The other
Mm-hmm.
thing that's a great advantage of that is you can start to create, and you should think about this, VIP lists. So you segment them off, they get early access, they get extra points. You give them your special offers very late in December, early on and late, and then you can have a higher conversion rate. You can also do point offers, or one of the offers that's often nice is if you're in a loyalty program, instead of having to give dollars or discounts, offer points, or like double, triple points is a great way to add value and reward your customers, or get more people into your loyalty program to build those lists.
Awesome. That was a great note. And if you have more questions on loyalty programs for NJ, drop those in the chat too. Awesome. So next thing to consider is crafting a copy that connects with your audience. So you need to be providing value. It's not just about, hey, here's a sale. Hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm promoting. You have to organically and authentically connect with your audience. It's not just about you. And a lot of times we will tend to think things are about us, but so does our audience. As we're scrolling through, we subconsciously, not even realizing, are scrolling through thinking, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Why am I going to follow this person? Why am I going to care about this content or look at it longer than 0.2 seconds with how much content is out there? So consider what value you're providing to your audience, whether that is through a promotion or maybe it's a tip, a styling, or whatever the case may be. Be sure that you are providing them with value, or you will lose them. Pump up the verbiage and add a little pressure. So just saying, hey, we have 10% off sale, not as strong as adding a little pressure by saying last chance offer while supplies last, or even on your website, adding expiration times. You can add expiration times on Instagram stories as well. This adds a little pressure for people to take action on whatever deals, sales, free shipping, or whatever it is that you're offering. So pump up the verbiage a little bit, make it sound a little sexy, a little more enticing, and then put a little pressure on too, to really push them to convert. And lean into storytelling. Brands that are really successful in their marketing are really great storytellers, and they're able to resonate and connect with their audience. So that's why I'll bring it back to this a million times over, knowing your audience and really having a clear picture of who they are, what they're doing, what they need, is essential. Because if you're going to create a narrative or create your brand persona, you want that to be something that connects with your audience. That connection is crucial. People, it's not just about purchasing anymore, especially with the introduction of social media. Particularly, marketing is really building relationships now, and deeper relationships, more organic and authentic, and that comes from storytelling. So and knowing them very, very clearly. Then create an action plan. So this all sounds great, but it means nothing if you're not putting it down on paper, creating a calendar, taking the actual steps, writing the copy, and plotting out when each campaign or touch point is happening. So you need to create the roadmap of all of your product drops, marketing plans, offers for key moments, these touch points for your customers during the holiday season. These touch points can be anything, like NJ said, from SMS messaging, from these abandoned cart emails, these journeys that your customers are going on. These all need to be plotted out and really, really intentional, because they should all play into one another, and be happening all at the same time and flow as one marketing unit, not separate marketing units. So you have to plan everything thoughtfully and intentionally.
So just to jump in,
yeah.
the way I do it, is I actually have, I don't know if people are gonna see it on my screen, or not, but I do it two ways. So that you have, one, there's a regular calendar with every drop date and offer through the months and the years. And just so everybody knows, I started planning APL's Black Friday, Cyber Monday in January. That's how far it goes back. Two, we literally make another chart that actually details Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend and breaks down all the offers for each one and details everything from what is the offer on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. There are two different offers. And then what are your ongoing benefits? And you should always have that on your site, in your emails, everything. It's like, you know, what is that white glove service things that you're providing? So break it down into drop dates and a calendar, and then do a separate thing for all your offers. That way you can check off you're putting it all in your creative.
Yeah, love it. Get organized. And starting in January. So whoever that was that said that they're ready for 2024, you are so ahead of the game, and I love that for you. But yeah, having that clear calendar, and I love that breakdown too. And considering what the ongoing offers are is a great point. Because NJ said at the beginning of our time together, she said that does start at the beginning of the year, considering what you're doing throughout the year to lead up to this holiday season. So all great notes. And my last note here is to include clear calls to action in everything that you're doing. Think of it as they don't really know what they should do. So you need to tell them these calls to actions, these buttons in emails, buttons on your website, things like that. Tell them what action they should be taking. Because well, at the end of the day, they will follow the instructions. So if all of this feels kind of overwhelming, or if you have any questions, I wanted to take a moment to pause and answer any that might have come up for you thus far before we continue. So feel free to unmute or drop a couple in the chat.
Yeah,
or
I think
just let us
probably
know how you're feeling.
have time for maybe one question here if anybody has
Yeah.
one. I feel like everybody's been really like diligently listening and writing down, I'm sure. So you might be like, oh, I don't know what that question is yet, but we'll definitely have some time at the end as well. So don't worry.
Okay, great. Going once, going twice for one question. All right, then we will continue trucking along. So some ideas to spark your creativity, which we've mentioned a few of these thus far. SMS marketing is a great one, and I think an important one for the holiday season. So definitely consider that, especially for product-based businesses. I think SMS is really, really strong to pursue. Gift guides and content marketing. So 65% of consumers consider holiday content, such as articles and blog posts, when making their shopping decisions. So whether you're the one creating the gift guides and sneaking in your products, or if you are reaching out and getting on other people's gift guides, I think that that's an incredible way to go. And like I said earlier, 53% of shoppers are influenced by brands that they trust. So if you are on a reputable site, we also write gift guides ourselves to promote small businesses during the holidays. So hint, hint, reach out to us. But it is important to be featured by brands that or publications that your audience trusts. So definitely consider that. Social media advertising or running digital ads, really crucial. 47% of consumers have made holiday purchases based on social media recommendations, which means that if you know your audience, you're setting a very clear and specific audience for your holiday ads, then it's going to land in front of your ideal customer, and they're going to take action on it because you've purposefully put yourself in front of them, waiting for your audience to come and find you. It's probably not going to happen. It's going to be a really long game of hide and seek. So really step in front of your audience and meet them where they are. And that comes from ads a lot of the times. And that would be some of that awareness content that we were talking about. But set aside a budget for advertising. I think it's really crucial during the holidays, especially because your competitors are likely spending money on ads. So if you're not, you're way further back in the race than they are. So something to definitely consider. And then ramping up your email marketing will also be crucial. These are all really great touch points throughout different areas of your funnel, just to bring that back up. So considering email marketing is important, and it's a great touch point. You don't own your social media following. You don't own your Instagram. If it went down, I don't know if we all remember 2021, whenever that was, where Instagram was down, the whole world freaked out. If that's the only place you're marketing your business and Instagram vanishes tomorrow, then you're a little screwed. So really take ownership of your email list, of your SMS list, and all these other elements that you can include in your marketing, and weave it all together so that you are not left in the dust. And email marketing has a great ROI, $42 for every dollar spent. So that's really important to consider. I know a lot of people, younger people think that email is out, but it is very much not, and it is really a crucial element of your marketing strategy. So yeah, just a few ideas.
I thought I'd comment on that. Actually, I
Yeah.
think in general you'll see paid advertising is at, number one usually. If you can get your organic, which is critical, and balance that out, that complements the paid. Email usually hits atop of SMS in the funnel, and then everybody's too small, but if you ever get big enough, Wonderkin is fourth in the funnel because they actually back up and go out to all those email addresses, people that are somewhere floating out there in the system, bring them back in through retention and email conversion and special offers. But I think everybody is, and I could be wrong, the size of your business right now does not afford that expense, and I would not recommend it. So those are the 1, 2, 3. I mean, SMS can outperform email, so that's critical. If you're not doing SMS messaging, and I don't know if you can afford it, it's great. I personally recommend Attentive over Klaviyo for SMS. They're number one. Klaviyo has had outages every single day now, so I'm very concerned about it going into the holidays. And I'm personally looking at maybe moving to Attentive email after the holidays.
Great to know. Great notes. Very interesting. I'm definitely going to read more about what's going on with Klaviyo.
Literally, I get
Yeah.
an email once or twice a day about what part of Klaviyo is down, not reporting, and messaging going out. The other thing that's really important about email messaging over the holidays is there's usually a major lag, and people email at certain critical times. So you could be in that bunch and your emails lag for when the offer goes out, and it doesn't necessarily go out at the optimal time. And you have to consider whether you want to do it as with imaging or not, especially on SMS. So on SMS, most people see, if you observe this over the holidays, they don't attach as much imaging because it's slows the messaging down. So it will get out on time because the carriers and the vendors haven't booked enough time. Attentive is really great at booking enough bandwidth on the carriers to get the messaging out on time. Klaviyo has had a harder time doing that, even though they're bigger. And if you watch, their IPO went out last week and fell below its value. So that might be an indicator. But there's lots of other services out there. I'm just saying, really look at demand and times, especially on Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays, usually 8 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. If you have international clients, It's really nice to go out earlier. And we've also found that a real sweet spot on Black Fridays is going out on Thanksgiving or late afternoon.
Mm. Great to know. And if you didn't write that down, the replay of this workshop will be in the member portal, which we'll drop the link for later on so that you can write it down. Because I think that's all really specific data that is important for you to note with your marketing planning of when things are going out and what platforms to use too. I think that's a great note on that. And I believe if you have, this might be doable. I think if you have Square as your service that you use for marketing efforts and also for financial processing, that kind of thing. I believe that they have both email marketing and SMS marketing within their system. So that could be a good way for you to integrate that at a lower budget, saving you a little bit of money. So the next thing to note is optimize your system. So number one is optimizing for mobile. Mobile is king. People are purchasing and looking at things from A, social media, but B, just searching things on the go on their phones more than they are at their desktops. And so being able to ensure that your, not only all of your marketing that's going out, your emails, the SMS, of course, but your website, all of these things are optimized for mobile. It's easy to read, easy to navigate through on mobile is crucial because that's where a lot of purchasing is happening. Then you want to set up some workflows, automations, add a little spice to it. So thinking through these journeys and setting up these abandoned cart emails, something that you can consider in this journey that NJ had mentioned is through this abandoned cart email journey, eventually giving them an exclusive offer like free shipping or 10% off if they pick back up where they left off in their cart, completing that sale. So thinking of different creative ways to make the sales happen and also encourage purchase through these different journeys. And setting up workflows and automations will just save you time in the long run. There's so much to happen and to go out during the holiday season. And so having automations, having these workflows working for you on the back end to where you're not having to send every single email manually is essential just to optimize your time at the end of the day, but your system as a whole. And then be sure you're delivering quality experiences. So thinking through your customer service, thinking through the quality of your products, the time frame between connecting with your audience and your customers on their purchase. All of these things really matter because you can have a great product and bad service, people won't return, and vice versa. So think it through and provide quality experiences for your audience. That's how we make them into those loyal customers. Then it's always going to be a learning lesson. You're going to implement your plan. You're going to learn as you go. And really, you should listen to your audience, listen to the feedback, pay attention to their behaviors. Maybe they are getting to that abandoned cart or putting things in their cart and then nothing's happening. Take note of that data and pay attention to their behaviors. This is going to help you learn and grow at the end of the day. Marketing is a lot of trial and error. I don't like to say error. It's always a learning lesson, but it's a lot of trying things and seeing what's actually working, taking the data, analyzing it, and then pivoting and making the necessary adjustments. So you should be recording data. I like to record data for Forward Female and for clients every single Monday. I go through and I run analytics reports on everything so that we're looking at things week over week. We can also see how things have shifted month over month and quarter over quarter. So record the data for everything, especially if you're running ads. Pay attention to how it's converting, if you should continue spending money on that particular ad, if there are adjustments that you should make to that ad before you continue spending your hard-earned money. So that's why recording and understanding your data is essential. So set up your data collection, whatever that looks like. We use Google Sheets. We also have other platforms that we utilize that give us great data reports. For example, Later has a great analytics system within all of your email marketing and those different platforms that you'll use. They usually have great analytics in the back end. So set up that data collection, track and record it, and analyze the impact. Whether it's week over week, every 2 weeks, I recommend week over week, but definitely up to you on that. But analyze the impact and then pivot, improve your messaging, increase your engagement, listen to your audience, refer back to your funnel. All of these things are important to consider as you're refining and pivoting and shifting things around. Pay attention to patterns. If something happens, if you see a dip just in 1 week or even just in 2, but then don't change your whole strategy. I would look for the pattern, which is why it's important, in my opinion, to record week over week, because you're going to have dips, you're going to have the up and downs. But if it's a consistent dip or you're seeing something that's consistent, that's when you make the pivot. That's when you say, okay, what can I adjust? And you make note of what was adjusted. You make note of what was tweaked so you can see if that worked. I'll give you an example. We shifted the time that we send our emails from earlier in the morning to in the afternoon, and we saw our click rate increase by almost double. And then we attempted it again to see if that was consistent, and again to ensure that that was the thing and it wasn't just a great email, which all of our emails are great, so you should be subscribed. But making note of these patterns and of these changes that you're making, and making one change at a time, will help you learn and help you pivot accordingly to find what is actually going to work and land with your audience.